Hello, so this time around we're making another video, but this time with a lesson, right? I'll say at the beginning and I'll say at the end, and I'll tell you the scenario. So essentially we've been chatting for 14 hours today, interrailing Europe, so started with Brussels, basically took a wrong train, which sort of longed out the travels by another 3 hours, but stuff happens, it's fine. But the video I want to make today is about how everything happens for a reason, and sometimes the bad stuff that you think has happened, the bad stuff, is actually a blessing in disguise. So today we took the wrong train, right? But rather than me being miserable about it, I was actually thinking in a positive note. I'm actually thinking maybe something bad was going to happen if I got to Innsbruck, Austria today, right? You never know. Or maybe, for example, check in might have closed at 10 there, so maybe that's a good thing I didn't get there, right? On the other hand, maybe if I stay in Munich for tonight, maybe something good happens. Maybe I meet my future best mate, over here, or meet a gal who I end up marrying. I'm just saying, like, these are scenarios that could happen by me missing my train from Munich to Innsbruck. When I say missing, getting on the wrong train. So what happened was, we ran because it was like the train was going to go. Got to the right platform, but it was the wrong train. So lesson learned: when you go interrailing in Europe, make sure it's the right platform, because the platforms will change, and if you get on the train, just check, double check, triple check. Right, that's the lesson. But yeah, again, like I'm saying, like, this could be blessed in disguise. Who knows? Like, this night in Munich could lead to something better, right? And I've always thought that. For example, let me go back to, I had an interview at Cambridge Uni, and I worked so hard for that. I remember I was actually turning 18. Was it? Well, yeah, turning 18. And you have to do so much prep for it. I had 2 interviews at St John's College. If you don't know, Cambridge University is like one of the best universities in England. Cambridge and Oxford, they call it Oxbridge. But so I prepped for that. The reason I did that was they put me forward for it in school because I got 7 A stars, 1 A, 4 Bs at GCSEs, so I did alright. Got straight A's at AS level. So for A level, they were like, about do this course called Land Economy. I had no clue what it was, I'll be honest with you. But they did sort of like in the school, I went to public school, so they tried to find a course that was not too hard to get into, because I didn't do further maths. I did maths, economics and physics, just did 3, right? Did 4, but I dropped the 4th because anyways. So essentially, went to Cambridge Uni, the interview, and I didn't get in it. And I remember that day, my brother's picking me up on my birthday, so he actually dropped me off. He's a year older, so he was going to go get me a PlayStation for my birthday. So shout out for that. But which he didn't go back. Anyways, so he picked me up, and I remember in that wait time after the interview to when he was picking me up, he was with his mate from Cambridge Uni. I was teared up a bit. Like, I went walking around the scene. I was like, I definitely need to get in. And I was like, I put so much effort into this. And in that moment, I was feeling a bit sad. But looking back, that was a blessing in disguise, because I went to Loughborough Uni, ended up doing a study abroad. The study abroad was in America at Oklahoma State University, OSU. And the reason that study abroad happened was because I met this girl who did a study abroad in Australia, and she was like to me, Bal, like, you need to do this, like, look into it, because everyone at Loughborough University does 4 years, right, in the course, and I didn't really want to do a placement year. I wanted to but I still want to go do a 4 year so I can graduate at the same time as my mates. So I looked into the study abroad option, and there was one there. It was either Singapore or Oklahoma State University. I chose Oklahoma State University because at the time I was like, I heard making friends in Singapore was harder, and obviously America's America. But it ended up being one of the best times of my life. That would not have come about if I went to Cambridge Uni, right? So I did a study abroad, ended up working in US business tax at the Big Four. Again, that would not have come about if I didn't study abroad, because in the interview, I was speaking to the partner about Colorado and skiing, and I only knew about that because some of my study abroad friends had actually did that during the spring break, wherever it was. So you have spring breaks during the semester, and I half a year from the second semester. I had other study abroad friends who were there for the whole year, so they were telling me about like their trip to Colorado, and because of that knowledge I was then able to talk to the partner about that. And I think that's literally just having a conversation, and that's what they're like, and I'm pretty sure that's what got me the job. Like one of, not the only reasons, there's like one contributing factor, as well as like the other questions I answered, and I'm like, it was just because you could relate to someone. And I got into US business tax. But yeah, I feel like that was one of the reasons that study abroad. It gave me that connection to America, which then they hired me for to do US tax. Like, this would be the right guy for the job. Same way with, like, for example, this trip, interrailing trip, I got injured. So I pulled my hamstring. It wasn't too bad. I could walk. I can probably jog. But I couldn't play sports, right? So it's out of tendon, and probably heal in like just physio said 4 to 6 to 8 weeks. And that was a blessing in disguise, because then I was able to book this interrailing trip because I don't have to be in the UK for cricket, right? So again, loads of bad stuff happens, which is actually a blessing in disguise. So for me, missing this train, I know I'm getting around in circles, I'm just saying I'm not feeling miserable, because I know all those things that have happened in the past. I know it sounds silly, you've missed a train, why do you still not feel miserable? It's because I know it's probably for a good reason. I believe everything happens for a reason. God, the universe guides you, protects you, whatever you want to believe in. And I just know that. That's my thinking. I thought I'd share that with you all today. I know I've had other injuries in the past, or from sports or other things, and I've always thought about this, or I've always thought something is a blessing in disguise. I thought I'd share that mindset with you all. So if something's bad has happened, or in the future happens to you, make sure you don't feel down about it, because it could be a blessing in disguise. You never know until you look back and you think it was. So yeah, have a great day. So I'll just update you on my day today. So I started from 7:45 a.m. I can't really turn the camera, but literally no one in this train, you can see. So 7:45 a.m. from Brussels, walked to the station, got on from Brussels to Cologne. There was rail construction works, and there was other delays, so we ended up spending about an hour and a half to get to Cologne. From Cologne, changed trains to Munich, and then from Munich we're supposed to go to Innsbruck, which is in Austria, and we got on the wrong train. Essentially I was just running, and I thought it was the right platform, but they changed platforms, and so we ended up going backwards. And I was eating my dinner, and I realised, like, shoot, this is not, I looked on the screen, I was like, this is not going where we need to be going. So then I just literally got off when I could at Stuttgart, which was in another 30 minutes that stop. Got off, now got on the train, which is this one, back to Munich. And we're getting there, it says like 12:28. So I'm going to get there, probably check into a place. So that's been today, so probably 14 and a half hours of travelling from when I left the hotel I was at to where I'm going. So yeah, that's been today. Don't get me wrong, I sort of enjoyed it. Like, I have my book here, I journaled, I read, I watched some Netflix, I talked to a couple of strangers, let's talk to the workers. It was still a good time. And the views were alright as well. I'm still tired, doesn't mean like you can't enjoy it, right? But thought I'd share that. But yeah, I'm trying to see. And luckily also I'm wearing a comfy outfit. I'm like wearing gym clothes, so I'm just comfy. So that's another thing that helps. Make sure you dress comfy when you travel, otherwise you probably will be miserable. So yeah, I'll end it there. Remember, whatever happens is for a reason, and sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. If you want me to make more videos like this, show my experiences or ways of thinking, let me know. Like this video, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. See you next time. Have a great day. Bye. Love you.